everybody! In this video, you're going to learn how to create a drain plate in Onshape. So as you can see here, I'm in my Onshape home screen. I've already created a document here, so I'm just going to open that up. And remember, I'm just going to remind you really quick of our naming convention, which is the thing that we are creating, followed by our initials, Satvika Prasad, which mine are SP, and the date. I apologize if it shows differently in the right corner. I'm using a laptop that is oriented to Indian time. So there it's 3:40 in the morning at 2 on February 24th. So yes, I am in another time zone. So that's kind of why. Moving on. As you can see here, this is how the drain plate is going to look like. I'm going to go to the drawing to show you the dimensions and everything. So let's just let the drawing load. All right, there we go. So let's zoom in. As you can see here, the dimension of the small circles over here. So if I can just annotate that, these small circle, the diameter of it is 5 millimeters. And the diameter of the humongous circle, which surrounds this tiny circles, or this circle right here, is 150 millimeters. So, and then we are also extruding, the drain plate. So the width, or actually that's the wrong way to write it. So the length of the width of the extrusion, or the depth of the extrusion, there we go, is 5 millimeters. So it's equal to the small holes. So as you can see, it's 5 millimeters. So if you haven't noticed already, my Onshape, so I'm just going to clear my drawings. My workspace is working in millimeters. So let's first start off by switching our units to millimeters. So how I'm going to do that is I'm first going to create my part studio. So I'm going to go to the chat button, the plus button at the bottom, and I'm going to click on create part studio. And then I'm going to right click and rename it tutorial. Remember, you can label it whatever you want. And now what I'm going to do is I'm first going to start off by changing my units. That's the first thing you should always do. Check what units you're going to work with. Since I'm working with millimeters now, next to the Onshape button, there should be three hamburger lines, which sort of mean document menu. Not sort of means. It means that it's a document menu. So I'm going to click on it and it'll give me this drop down. I'm going to go to workspace units, and my default length unit, I'm going to click on millimeter, and I'm going to click the green check button. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to start a sketch on the top plane. So I'm going to do it a bit differently than I usually do. I usually go to the triplane and I right click on the top plane. Now I'm going to go to the features tab, right click on the top plane where it'll give me this drop down, and I'll click on new sketch, and then I'll right click on the top plane and click on view normal to, which will give me the same output as I did it before. So I'm just trying to show you some different ways that you can work with it. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to start off by creating our large circle. So how I'm going to do that is I am going to first make a center point circle, go from the center all the way, drag out, and click to confirm the circle. Then I'm going to go to dimensions, click and drag. That shows me my diameter. So I'm going to click and I'm going to type in 150. So now that I have 150, let's get into making the tiny, tiny circles. Okay, so how we're going to make these small circles is again going to our circle tool. And we're going to start off by making a circle at the origin. I'm going to click on the origin and drag out. I'm going to click and I'm going to dimension it to, let's refer back to our drawing, 5 millimeters. So I'm going to go and I'm going to dimension it. Oops, not that one. don't want to dimension that. Okay, I'm going to click enter. So I'm going to go and I'm going to dimension that to 5 millimeters. So I'm going to escape and I'm going to sort of drag inwards and make it as close to the circle as possible. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to my linear pattern. So how that's here, it's like that's right here. I'm going to click on linear pattern and I'm going to click on my circle and it's going to give me these options. Now, how we're going to dimension these is we're going to click on the distance and we're going to make it 10 millimeters. Oops. We're going to make it 10 millimeters. And for the number of circles we're making, we're going to choose 6. And now for this side, I want to make 6 copies of this while making the dimension 10 again. And I'm going to click on the green check. And then I am actually going to show you guys. So if you look super close here, let's see if Onshape is going to allow me to zoom in a bit. So if you can see here, it's a bit too close to the outside rim. So I want to delete that circle. Now, if I click and I delete, it's just going to delete. So all you needed to do was you need to just click and delete. So I'm going to go back into my top view. I apologize for the sudden transition. And I'm going to finish the sketch. So actually, no, I'm not done with the sketch. I don't know what I was thinking. So I'm going to right click and click on edit. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to make a construction line. Now the function of a construction line and the reason it's called a construction line is that it's not part of your original sketch. The difference between if I draw an actual line and a construction line is that the actual line is going to be counted as part of your sketch. I don't want this line to be counted as part of my sketch. So I'm going to be using the construction line. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to choose my line tool and my construction. And I'm going to start from the top, go all the way down to the bottom end of the circle. And I'm going to click escape. I'm going to select them again and go across the other line, like this line over here. I'm going to click and drag all the way over. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to click escape and that's it. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to the mirror tool. I'm going to select the mirror tool and it's going to ask me to select a mirror line, which is going to be my vertical construction line. And the entities that I want to be mirrored, how I'm going to select all of these circles. So I'm going to click on a point on any part of the circle and capture all of those circles. And there we go, voila. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to come out of mirror tool again and I'm going to go back in again. And this time I'm going to select the horizontal axis, the horizontal construction line. And then the entities are this entire thing because we want to reflect it across. And there we go. So now I'm going to finish my sketch. And now all that's left is just to extrude it. So how I'm going to do that is I'm going to go to my extrusion tool. I'm going to click on my plate and let's check how far we want our extrusion to be. According to our drawing, it says it's 5 millimeters. So we're going to extrude it to 5 millimeters. So that's it. And now what we're going to do is we're going to rename our part to drain plate. So I'm going to go to my part, click on rename, and rename it drain plate. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to make it a different color because I don't really like this blue color. But so I'm going to right click and I'm going to click on edit appearance. I want to make it gray because that seems the most natural or most assumable color of a drain plate. It's metal, right? So talking about metal, I'm going to finish my appearance. I'm going to assign the material of steel because let's search up what materials is a drain plate made of. Okay, so it's saying manhole covers, but these are really what we're looking for. So, or this one is actually what we're looking for. So it's round type B, polished nickel. So we're going to assign it. So if you've not noticed already, we've made a very shrinked down version of a drain plate. So don't think this is the actual size of a drain plate. So I'm going to right click and I'm going to click on assign material. And I'm going to choose from the drop down. And I'm going to type in type B, or actually it's a nickel. So we're going to choose this nickel. I'm going to click my green check button, and that's how you assign a material, change the color, and create the drain plate, and learn it and use the linear pattern as well as the mirror tool. So thank you for watching this video. If you have any questions, as always, please do put them down in the comments. I will always get back to you for your questions. So yeah, that's pretty much it. So bye. See you in the next video.